His nickname is Honorable Swagger. You're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you, my brother Umaru Sanda Amadu.
How are you, sir?
I'm great.
It's been long. I used to host you on the Big Issue, produce you, host you many years ago. You've been missing in action.
You see, I can't walk into your studio.
That's true.
On what?
Uninvited. Now you're throwing the thing back.
Yeah, so I can only be here
I have not invited
when you invite me.
Very well. But how is life after Parliament, and what have you been up to?
Oh, after Parliament, I got the privilege to serve under President Mahama's government as a presidential staffer, and then I was assigned the role to set up what used to be
Youth Enterprise Support. Okay.
Yeah, now NAPE or whatever they call it. Yeah. So I set it up and launched it during the NDC era. Later, Helga Boedi.
That was a 10 million fund.
Yes.
Helga Boedi's. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she took over from me. And, later, I worked under the Chief of Staff's office, in charge of what do we call it? These non-performing vehicles that we needed to auction, state vehicles and so on. So I was working under the Chief of Staff to, mobilize those, or let me say, harness them, and then look for the right people to sell them to, raise revenue. Those that we had to, refurbish and all of those things we did. So 2017 January 6th.
They threw you away.
And of course, we've since been home trying to survive.
How has life been? How's the life?
Well, it's been, I would call it a roller coaster. Sometimes good, sometimes terrible. But of course, somewhere from 2020, I was taken ill. And so I had to slow down a little bit. And we've since been grappling with it, back and forth, treatment here, treatment there. But by God's grace, just 4 months ago, I had an accident at home. I slipped and fell, and I broke my pelvic bone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fractured, so I needed what do we call that? An implant surgery. Yeah, so since then I've been home. Today is about my third day out.
Wow.
Since that accident.
You've been indoors.
I've been like the first. I was bedridden, I would say.
Wow.
I mean, right after the accident. I mean, I couldn't do anything for myself. I was virtually on bed. I did everything from the bed until the surgery was done. And then after about a week and a half, at least, I was able to manage with the Zimmer frame. You know, the Zimmer,
Yes.
So I started with that. After about 2 months, I graduated to the double crutch. And now I'm having just one crutch, and I'm still.
So you're recovering.
Yes, and I'm practicing the walking without the sticks. It's a bit tough, but I'm getting somewhere.
Wish you all the best and a speedy recovery too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's talk about the party belong to the NDC. How is the NDC looking? Well, I remember during the internal primaries, you had your own views on.
Oh yeah, I still do. I think we have gone past that level though, but sometimes your party leadership has a way of demonstrating the strength of the organization very well. So I personally think that there's some wobbly aspects of it, but hopefully with time they get better.
You think your party is wobbly?
some aspects, not the you know, I personally have a certain view vis-a-vis what used to exist before, you know, especially in an election year and all of that.
You have 5 months to election. You are not sure of your party.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm not sure. I said
you are suspicious of how your party is working. It's limping.
I expect a bit of zest, you know, especially coming from the experiences of 2020. Because some of us were at the NEF Center. I was then the director for special duties. So I was working, you know, at the NEF Center with the director of elections, director of IT and all of those. We were right at the NEF Center of everything, you know. So maybe something is going on that I'm not aware of, but of course.
You mean you are not seeing the action from the NDC? You are not seeing hunger? What are you not seeing?
Well, maybe the format has changed, okay, because four years ago, around this time, we had something we used to call the SOS, speak out sessions. We were going out there soliciting views of the people on the ground and all of that. And also, we had a certain strategy that took us to certain areas, hinterlands, you know, from the national headquarters. And for those of us who were even involved in that strategy in particular, I don't want to say everything. Nobody has even called any one of us to ask us what we did. You understand? And I'm afraid...
No stock was taken.
That's what I'm saying. I'm afraid that what we did was able to yield results that got us some of the seats that we had lost in 2016 back. You know, and for those of us, myself, the former organizer, Akamba, the former chairman, and a few others who came together to form that group, the late Jifa Ativo, former roads minister, what's his name? Oh,
is it Innocent?
No, the other guy.
From Central Tongue,
Joe Gidisu and others, Albert Ziga. So many other people were involved in this strategy I was talking about.
Could it be that the strategy is going to go and there are people playing that role, but you are not aware because you are outside the circle?
You see, that's what I'm saying to you, that those who mooted the strategy and the team that implemented it, this new set of leadership should have been briefed on that. Then one would say at least we have bequeathed a certain, you know, knowledge to them. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I've been on the touchline. Nobody calls you. Nobody, you know, and it's strange that the last director of elections, Honorable Elvis Free Ankara, is missing around the scene and all of that. It's a bit personally, that's why I said some of the things I'm seeing seem wobbly for my liking.
Where is the blame from for the wobbliness of the NDC? Is it from the flag bearer and presidential candidate, or from the national chairman Johnson?
You see, once elections are done and over with, we should learn to, you know, what would I say? Break free from the shackles of the election. Move on and get people who can do the work to do the work.
Your party has not moved on.
I think they are holding on to grudges. So I'll teach
those who have won or those who have lost?
Those who have won, they are the ones who have power to demonstrate anything against anybody else.
They have not forgiven.
Do you understand? So if you didn't belong to a particular whatever, nobody cares, about you,
So,
whether you have what it takes to help or not. But we have some perspective that we want to use to, because look, it's only when we win elections that we have anything to benefit. Do you understand? So we are a team. We all went to seek leadership. Some got it, some didn't. Doesn't mean those who didn't get it are blank in their heads. Do you understand? Give them opportunity to demonstrate what they have. There are other, look, like I said, this is radio. The things we did with that strategy I'm talking about. I mean, Akamba, if he's listening to me, he knows what I'm talking about. Ofusampofu knows what I'm talking about. Chairman Ofusampofu knows what I'm talking about. Joe Gidisu, I haven't seen him since that time. Albeziga and Co. And many others. Okay? And it was one solid strategy that we deployed and went down.
but that strategy led to a defeat. Maybe those who are running the party now think it was a useless strategy. So there's no point
a
repeating.
defeat from losing 1 million votes in 2016 and losing about 400 and something, almost 500 million, 500,000. You call that a defeat? You made inroads, and in politics, you recover numbers before you can win any elections. Do you understand? That is how it works. You make sure you recover the numbers. Then you can go ahead and win elections based on the way you have recovered the numbers. So everything now directs to the point that in this election, NDC has everything that it takes to win it. Okay,
But all hands have to be on deck.
Exactly.
Who is preventing the hands from being on
I
deck?
don't know. I don't want to speculate on this beautiful show, but I think it's I mean, it beats my mind.
You're not speculating, but you've already indicted the current executive led by the chairman.
I haven't. I am just probably their mind has not been acquiesced to some of these things yet.
You've said that those who have won have not moved beyond the election campaigning yet.
Yeah, because some decisions that have been taken that I am aware of seem to have, emanated from that kind of
bitterness.
Yeah, because if I didn't, I mean, it shows there are people who didn't support a certain group of people, and when the new team won, some of them have lost their positions and other things.
But that's fair. That's expected.
That is
expected. You
were
in Adenta when you won Parliament. I'm sure when it was going to be time for the parliamentary constituency executive election, you supported some people and pray that some others lost.
You see,
it's normal when presidents win, they choose their team. When Chairman for some people was there, he chose his team. Now Mosquito, new king, new rule.
You see, I don't mind, but you must make sure that those you are replacing them with have what it takes to.
But if you supported someone else against the current chairman,
that is not the subject.
I know. I'm just saying if, and I'm not using you, but I'm
right.
saying if you supported someone else against the current chairman and he has won, do you genuinely, you're a politician, honestly expect that you should still be invited to the table?
You see, you want to win elections, and the votes, as they say, is what 50 plus what
1.
So every vote counts. Do you understand? So if you understand that bit of the politics that we are in, you don't dump people. Do you understand? You keep them at your arm's reach, even if you find them to be your enemy.
So you use them when you
understand? You need them. You use them when you need them. That is what you do. A good strategist, that's what they do. They don't dispense everyone off. You look for their strength. You may not eat in the same bowl with them, but you ensure that as and when they are needed, you bring them on board and use their strength to achieve the
That's
purpose.
not happening now.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You don't see it happening.
Yeah, because it beats my mind, as I told you earlier, for someone who handled the immediate past elections. Think doesn't have, what do you call it, institutional memory
to contribute.
And I don't see him anywhere in the picture, and it worries me.
You're referring to the former chairman,
The former elections director, Elvis, I mean.
Elvis Efriankra.
Yes.
He lost the general secretary position.
Yes.
You expect that someone like Elvis should be playing an active role?
This is someone who was the immediate past elections director.
Was deputy general secretary.
Not before.
Yeah, I'm just saying that he was also
ago.
deputy
That's
general.
right. So please, such
He
a
was,
person.
was he organizer or something?
And former elections. No, what do we call that?
He was deputy director of elections.
Campaign coordinator for President Mills.
Yeah.
Then, President Mills. Then.
And he's nowhere in the
I didn't
team
see his name anywhere, and maybe there will be committees that we may all find some of the names that we didn't
Who
see.
else is missing that you are worried about?
Oh, this gentleman called Amati, Daniel Amati.
From Lejokuku.
Yes.
Former chairman.
Yes. This is a guy.
Former MCA.
Yes. This is a guy who is a colossus of politics, election or electoral knowledge.
He's absent.
He's absent. I don't find him anywhere. Sylvester Mensah, I haven't seen his name anywhere. These were people who were in the thick, of the affairs of the party just 4 years ago.
The biggest beneficiary of your victory, if you secure victory, would be John Dramani Mahama. Should he not be the one who should step foot down and say that these things ought to be done?
He has his hands very tied when it comes to deciding who should be where. He needs to compose the team made up of national officers. You understand? Majority must be made up of national officers. So you can tell that from his main campaign team, majority of them are from the national executive. It is the steering committee that has brought on other people. But I don't know what role. I'm waiting to see the other rules of engagement, so I will know what exactly.
But the buck stops with John Mahama.
Yeah, but I'm saying
So
that
if things are wobbly, he should
party,
step in.
Yeah, I agree. That I agree. And
but you're not blaming him. You're blaming the national executives.
You see, he as flag bearer also has limitations. All right, he cannot bulldoze his way over what the national constitution and so on require that he does, and so on. So definitely he has, even if he has what it takes to bring people on board, it cannot be unilateral. He has to consult and so on. So if someone doesn't like that feast, they will definitely parry that decision.
If things continue the way they are, do you see your party winning 2024?
You see, the good thing with this era is that the entire nation is on its knees, requiring a change of government so that we can realign and rearrange things in the country. That is a certain plus that the NDC finds itself in that opportune place to the role they are being. The system itself seeks to want the NDC to play. You understand? But I also know, and that is why the flag bearer keeps saying that this election is not about the NDC alone. It's about the national interest. Let us rescue this country. Because they also know that probably the NDC is looking at it in its onerous form, may not be but we are placed. There is a scripture in the Bible where Esther, the book of Esther, and her uncle called Mordecai, there was an issue with their people, their tribesmen, and Esther was married. God fortunate, he wasn't from the country where they were, but he was a stranger. But then they managed to get to marry the king. All right, and the king has so many wives. So once a while, one wife will go. If it's not your turn and you go, you can be your head will be chopped off and all of that. And there was this guy who was working for the king who wanted a particular, the king, he was so jealous of this lady and her people. So they wanted to finish that group of people. And it was required that this woman goes to speak to the king on a day that she is not, it wasn't her turn to visit. And you know what? When she told the uncle about it, that, look, it's not my turn to go and visit, the uncle told him, or told her, you don't know that maybe it is because of this moment that you have become the queen, or let me say the wife of the king. This very moment. Because if this moment passes,
this is supposed to fix.
If this moment passes, your relevance
is gone.
It's gone.
What's your point in this?
So my point is that there are times where you choose people not necessarily because of anything, but because it is their time. And that is what I think the Ghanaian people want to do with the NDC. Do you understand?
So you are confident that your party would win because of a number of circumstances and
yes.
some fortunate thing happening for you.
Because of the times like this.
But strategy-wise, your party is not looking good.
Personally, like I said, I wouldn't play. It's not like everything is crumbling. Not at all. Because we've been around for 32, 33 years. We know how to play the game, parliamentary level, branch level, whatever. We've done it and everybody knows what to do. So there is no qualms about that. When the structure is in place to work, the machinery and all of that.
Is that time
but between now and election, the zest, the zeal, the venom that one would have expected to because issues abound. And sometimes you wish that we took a full advantage of those issues and drummed it home for the Guardian. You don't get it.
It's not coming.
Yeah. So
do you think you can rescue it? You can fix it before elections?
Oh, definitely. We have time. 5 months is a lot of time. 5 months is a lot of time.
Unfortunately, time is not a very good friend. But just before you go, your constituency, Adenta,
yes.
Does it look like you would be retained?
It's gone for good.
Gone for good means NDC is won
sure,
or lost?
Oh, that's what I mean.
You think NDC win?
That's lady. What's
because
her name?
Your constituency is always misbehaving.
What's the name of the lady?
Kozi, the people's Kozi.
I said if Kozi doesn't get 20,000 deficit, don't ever invite me into your studio.
True. That's how bad you are expecting her to lose.
I said if she doesn't get 20, it was 14,900 or something. You add them 5,000 to it. 5,000. So if she doesn't win, less or more? That with deficit
she doesn't lose with more than 20,000.
Please don't ever bring me into your studio. And no I mean what I'm saying.
Marked. I've marked it on the wall.
Yes.
And it's also on the internet.
You see, trust me,
Mm.
NDC in Adenta, it's a done deal. It's sealed. They can never, ever again take over that seat.
Honorable Kojo Adu-Asare, former Adentan Member of Parliament, and also known as Honorable Swagger. Thank you for joining us on Point Blank.
It's
been great talking.